Welcome viewers to TV. My name is Jacky Kemigisa. Together with me is Mr. Ivan Uganda and Mr. Dennis Asinga. Our topic of discussion will be the anti-pornography bill and the divorce marriage bill. Comments from the middle class men in our society. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, what is the discussion goes to you, Mr. Ivan? What is your general take on the divorce marriage bill?
I think the bill wouldn't be bad, but the name which was given to the bill is wrong. In my opinion, I think the name is okay. You can't have marriage and divorce in the same law. It would be better to have a law which is focusing on strengthening the institution of marriage, or focusing on the institution of marriage, not looking at getting married and divorcing at the same time. Probably maybe we should have different laws, or we should have a different name.
Wouldn't you say that it's through marriage, it's because of marriage that divorce happens? So it's only fair to just patch it up and have one bill, other than break it up to the Marriage Act or the Divorce Act?
Yes, because of marriage the divorce happens, but it's not good to have marriage at the same time divorce. Rather, we will have a law which is focusing on strengthening the institution of marriage, not necessarily focusing so much on divorce. Probably, maybe if we had a different name for the law, I think it would make a lot of sense. Otherwise, the perception one gets from the name of the bill, I think it sends a wrong perception, and that may be responsible for the sentiment which the bill is receiving from the public.
Mr. Dennis, do you agree?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank the TV that I'm yet to know the name. TV. First of all, for seeking views from the middle class, although you have not defined us what a middle class is. Back to the point, I don't agree with the bill. I personally don't need the bill here. So as we discuss, as the discussion goes on, we shall look at some of the reasons as why I don't agree with the bill.
You mentioned loopholes as you speak. Care to elaborate on that?
Yes, there are some loopholes like rape. If the bill talks about rape, a husband raping a wife, then where shall we get the witnesses? Who is there? Who is going to witness for us that actually, let's assume that your husband, Jacky, is married to Mr. Dennis Kapiata, and we are exclusively locked in the bedroom. And the next day I know you say, okay, that's what you have done to me. I'll go and claim that you have raped me. No, who is going to prove that actually I didn't rape you, I raped you?
You can do medical examinations where they can, verify first entry. There's a scientific experiment for that.
Yes, but just imagine that we don't have such facilities in the village. Supposing I decided that we are going to have our marriage, but we shall go and settle in our village. You see, by the time which thermometer, I don't know, can I call it a rape thermometer, it will detect such kind of scenarios. So I think the aspect of rape itself is a very big loophole.
So you think there is no rape in marriages? Are you trying to say that there's nothing like rape in a marriage? I
would think so, based on different cultures. For example, we have a culture in Lango. When a husband comes to the bedroom, he is not there to romance the wife. You just tell him, Yabi. Have you ever heard of the word Yabi? Yabi means that just open up your legs and I come. So it means that husband has committed rape ever since he got married to that wife. So different cultures define sexual activities in marriage differently. So unless the bill, in fact there is even no room for saying the bill should provide for us ingredients of what constitutes rape in marriage. So totally I don't agree with that aspect in the bill. And it has also prompted me to think that everybody, as long as you enter a marriage relationship, you are a candidate for prison. Because should you provoke your wife, the best aspect of putting you in prison such that she can have some relief at home is to claim that you have raped her.
You focus so much on women in the bill, yet the bill, it's spouse. It does not specify woman in per se. So you cannot tell me that when you view the bill, you feel like it's more a woman bill than a man bill.
No, I'm not focusing mainly on women, but I'm focusing. You cannot get married and think you remain a virgin. Usually, when you see people wedding and enjoying that wedding, the peak of that will be sex. You understand? So I'm trying to get the core aspect of where marriage rotates around. You cannot be. That's why we don't get married to sisters, our sisters. So I'm not just.
Meaning, whoever goes into marriage knows that there will be sex in marriage, and how it ends up being rape. Actually, in most cases, by the time a man rapes a woman, the marriage has ended. It is no longer a marriage by the time it happens. So
do people believe that there is nothing like rape in a marriage?
Actually, I don't know what Mr. Ivan Kanda said. Let me tell you, you'll see different counselors actually, and research has shown a good husband is not a rigid person who has rigid strategies of having sexual encounters with the wife. There are some women who enjoy being raped, being surprised in terms of sex. So how do you say that, how shall we put a bar line that now this man was maybe surprising the wife? For example, you are my wife, you are washing the utensils and I surprised you. You understand? Yeah?
I think that depends on the kind of woman you're married to. I mean, if that's her way of, she likes surprise attacks.
No,
I have had women talk about knowing that their husbands love them by being beaten. So if you're saying it depends on the kind of woman.
Because you put so much focus on very many people have actually been trashing the bill, saying it's focusing more on the material than actual relationships between the married man and the married woman. Would you believe so?
My feeling is that the MPs didn't get enough sensitization about the law, because from the way they are presenting the law to the public, I get a feeling they are focusing on sharing property at the end of the marriage, and they are also focusing on they are focusing on the end of the marriage and the subsequent sharing of property.
Yeah, still, I still hold the opinion that I don't agree with the law. The law is not needed. Because when you bring in the aspect of property, actually, because of that aspect, you are going to see so many immoralities, uncountable immoralities cropping up as an alternative. Because naturally, a human being will always look for an alternative. It is natural. You understand? So, when you come up with this law of saying that we are going to share property, as compared to our friends in the West, here in Africa, for somebody to own property is really struggle. Actually, there's a saying in our language that if you don't want to be in conflicts, don't own property. You see? So, you are going to see immorality. How? People are going to start looking for alternatives For example, prostitutes. You'll find a bachelor. Actually, there are so many bachelors who are surviving like that. A man gets his salary, goes to the street, buys somebody at 5,000, he satisfies himself. The next week, he goes to another person. He has no responsibility because he's fearing these questions. I called your number, you didn't come. I called your number, you didn't pick. You were with another person. And you see, that's how conflicts start. Your wife is asking this, and then he says, let's share the property, let's divorce. So it's going to cause
sharing of property is more on the male side than the female side. We might get married, and I actually have.
That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, the purpose of the law is to create harmony. It should not. The law should not create disharmony in advance.
So earlier you were asking whether you're saying that you think the different cultures should fit in the law. The law should be put up and then the cultures fit in the law. But I think it should be the other way around, because the law should come from the people. It shouldn't be the people to come to the law. You need to consult people and find out what do they believe in, what can work, and what can work.
But how about the anti-pornography bill? Mostly on the clause that says outlawing miniskirts. I'd like just a brief comment on that. So do you agree that the miniskirt should be outlawed in Uganda?
Well, we need a clear definition of what a miniskirt is, and we also need to get clear reasons why we think a miniskirt is bad, both the social and the scientific. And if it's bad, then we need to find.
I'll first of all start with the issue Mr. Okada has raised, what constitutes a miniskirt. And I still stand by my decision that that law is also not good. Because we are in this society. Have you attended a wedding?
Yes, I have.
Yes? Where shall we have the boundaries of the law? Is it going to apply only in towns? Because most of the weddings I've attended, some have been actually a master of ceremony. Ladies, the wife will change in almost a miniskirt, like a changing dress, to look nice.
To show that in-laws,
yes,
the product your boy has brought is
fantastic.
Wow.
In fact, I have not seen a bride who changes into a gomas as like a changing dress. So the gomas always change in a mini skirt dress to show up the figure. You know, we Africans, ladies are very beautiful here in Africa. I don't know about the Western, that's okay. The beaches where they are playing volleyball. Actually, not even beach, we have volleyball courts. Huh? You expect ladies to use gomeses to play volleyball? Have you ever seen them using jeans? They put on mini skirt sportswear. Because if I may define a mini skirt, by my own standards, is something that is shown.
Thank you very much once again, viewers, for tuning in to Uganda TV.